Fun. If I were to describe Terrence Clarke in one word, it would be fun. A fun personality, a fun player to watch, and someone you can just tell had fun playing the game. I never thought I would be making this video. I thought my next video on Terrence Clarke will be a prospect profile video where I try to convince you guys that he's still a first round prospect and has all the talent in the world, or me reacting to when he gets drafted into the NBA. I never expected my next video about Terrence to be about this, in a situation like this. It's just something I never thought would happen. Who was Terrence Clarke? Terrence Clarke was a 6'7", 195-pound shooting guard prospect from Boston, Massachusetts. He played his freshman season of high school at Rivers School in Weston, Massachusetts. He played the rest of his high school career at Brewster Academy in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. He was a consensus top 10 player in the 2020 recruiting class. He was a McDonald's All-American. He would choose to play his college basketball at Kentucky. He only played in 8 games due to injuries, but in the 5 games where he wasn't playing hurt, he averaged almost 14 points per game. He would declare for the NBA draft after the season. Terrence Clarke's play style was very fun to watch and very entertaining. He was somebody that was a pretty good scorer. He had a bunch of scoring moves. He could take guys off the dribble. He could score off ball. He's somebody that could decide a lot of ways he could score. And he wasn't just a scorer. He showed he could make plays for others as well. He had a really good handle. He was shifty to the point that he could get a defender moving with even the slightest move. He was athletic and had a good vertical that allowed him to throw down some monster dunks. And like I mentioned earlier, you could just tell when he was on the court, he was having fun, and he was having the time of his life playing basketball. And I still thought Terrence Clarke was a first round prospect, despite the struggles and despite the injuries, because of the fact that, you know, when you saw him healthy, he still looked really good, and he put up solid numbers when he was healthy. Yeah, those struggles, but what young player doesn't have those struggles? No prospect is perfect, and he showed all the things that I thought made him a first round pick still. It just so happened that the injuries were a big factor, and they also were a factor in him struggling because it hurt him play. And I even thought the fact that he tried to come back and the fact that he was trying to play through injury was telling about the kind of person and the kind of basketball player he is. And even though other people dropped him on the board, he still was a first round guy to me. But Terrence Clarke was more than just a great basketball player. He was a great person, and he's an icon for future generations of hoopers in Boston. I never knew Terrence Clarke personally, but I have been following his career for years now. And based off interviews and mic'd up features that he's been on, you can tell he was a fun person. And based off what people who got to know him, whether it be fellow recruits, whether it be, you know, people in the media, you can tell he was a great person. He was one of the first prospects I ever made a video about on this channel. He's one of my favorite basketball players, regardless of level, ever. Terrence Clarke loved the city of Boston. It was his hometown, and he represented it to its fullest. He knew that not many high-ranked recruits come out of Boston, and he wanted to be the one that made it. He wanted to be the one that inspired future generations of kids in Boston that had hoops dreams. And I hope he knows that he has, and he always will be, an inspiration for so many present and future generations of basketball players in Boston.